One of the all-time favorite dirty tricks of a debt collector is to call a neighbor. And so let me tell you how this normally goes. So maybe the debt collector's been calling you, doesn't like your answer, doesn't like your refusal to pay. And so the debt collector says, you know what, I think I'm going to call, we'll start off calling two neighbors. And so they'll call a neighbor and say that neighbor is Bob. And so Bob answers the phone, says hello, and the person says, hey, are you John Watts? And Bob goes, well, no, this is Bob Smith. John Watts lives across the street from me. And the collector goes, oh, I'm so sorry. I was trying to reach John. Have you seen him? And because I've been trying to get in touch with him and haven't been able to get him to call me back, and it's very important. And so Bob goes, well, yeah, I see him, every morning going to work, or I see him in the evening coming back from work. And so the collector says, well, I was just worried about him, thought maybe he was sick or been, in the hospital or something. And so Bob goes, well, what is this about? And the collector says, oh, well, technically, legally, I cannot tell you what this is about, but I will tell you this. He's potentially facing some difficult times, and I really need him to call me back so that I can help him. Because if I can't talk to him, things may get out of my control. So do you think you could take a message to him and maybe get him to call me back? Bob goes, well, yeah, I guess, and so collector gives the message. Sorry. So let's think about that. And think about that in terms of the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the FDCPA. And for our purposes, the FDCPA prohibits two things. Prohibits a debt collector from lying and from doing something that's unfair. So let's analyze it. Well, when the collector said that he was worried that I was sick or in the hospital, and the fact we spoke yesterday or that morning, well, that's a lie. He just lied. Now, he didn't lie to me, the consumer, but he lied to my neighbor. It's a lie. It's a lie to collect a debt. That's illegal. Well, and then he said, I can't tell you what this is about, which that part is true. But then he goes, but, he's in a little bit of trouble. Well, that is going beyond what the collector can do. That's considered unfair. Because, see, a collector cannot even call a third party. Third party is anybody other than you or your spouse. Cannot call a third party unless they truly, legitimately, honestly need what's called location information. Well, what's location information? That is home phone, home address, place of employment. Nothing else. Notice I didn't say email, I didn't say cell phone, I didn't say, well, how long has he been at work? Nothing else. And so when that collector has my contact information, well, that collector has now violated that part of the FDCPA, and that is a very unfair practice to talk to a third party. And then when the collector says, well, hey, will you take a note over? Well, see, that again is not location information, because he didn't say home phone, home address, place of employment. He said, I want you to write a note, walk across the street, knock on the door, put it on the door. Well, what's the purpose of that? Well, that's very intimidating to the consumer, because I'm sitting there at home or I'm having dinner, there's a knock on the door, open the door, there's my neighbor Bob, and Bob goes, hey, are you okay? Because I got this really odd call. Somebody's trying to find you, and here's a note. And so in my head, I'm going, oh, great. They're calling Bob. Are they going to call Cindy next? And how about, Sue behind, it's on the other side of me? And how about Cindy down the street? Well, am I going to have all these people coming to me? And you see, that's the whole point. Because this is called a block party. Okay? Not like, hey, we're having barbecue and the kids are playing. No, this is a block party. They want all your neighbors to come to your house so that you're embarrassed. Because you know what? The neighbors know what it's about, or they'll go Google the name of the company that called. And so now as you drive home and you see your neighbors and they're waving to you, and then you see them talk to their wife, you go, oh, I know what they're talking about. And it's embarrassing. That's the whole reason the debt collector does it. They don't do it because it doesn't work. They do it because it's incredibly effective and incredibly powerful to make you pay even a debt you do not owe. That's how powerful it is. So there's a lot of other violations in the little example I gave, but the point is, when this happens, you know now that you're dealing with a debt collector that has no problem breaking the law, no problem whatsoever. And when you know that, then you need to understand that the only way to stop this debt collector is you need to look at suing them in federal court. When they start having to write out big checks, then it'll sink into their brain, to the owners of that company. You know, maybe we should not be doing these block parties. Maybe we should not be calling third parties, calling neighbors, because it's really, really painful when we get sued on this. That's the only thing that'll get their attention. So if you live in Alabama and you have questions about this, feel free to give us a call. My name is John Watts, 205-879-2447, or you can go to alabamaconsumer.com and you can read more articles there, watch videos. There's also a contact form so that you can get in touch with us, and we'll be happy to help you any way that we can. Thank you.